Hi, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Green Cheek Beer Company, and they're headquartered in Orange, California, and this is their Pop Quiz Kid. So they're calling this one a double dry hopped Hazy Triple IPA that comes in at 10.3% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is approximately 5 weeks old. I'm gonna give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Sierra Hotel, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he sent my way, and he sent me a lot of West Coast love, and he sent me 4 beers from Green Cheek, and I've only reviewed 3 beers from Green Cheek on the channel, and that's all I've had, period, in my life. All of them came courtesy of another good friend of mine, viewer of the channel, Bud. But earlier this year, I had one of the best triple IPAs I've ever had, period, and it was their double dry hop swim test. It was phenomenal. I gave it a 4.9 out of 5, and this is kind of in the same realm. This is the same thing as that was double dry hopped Hazy Triple IPA. This one is 10.3. I think that was 10.2. The difference is that was Citra and Nelson. This is Mosaic and Motueka hop. So I'm really curious to see how this one is, and you know, after having that double dry hop swim test, I am really excited about this one because I know they make good triple IPAs, and I'm here for it. And I have one other hop forward beer from them. I forget what it is, but hopefully it's their, oh yeah, that California. It's called a California, double dry hop California IPA. I don't know what that exactly means, but they have, it's with cryo hops. And I'm curious to see how that one is, though. Forget the name of it. What the hell's the name of it? Like, We Are Here or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. He also sent me a couple Green Cheek beers that aren't hop forward. Their Helles Lager and then their Belgian Wit beer. I'm really excited. Now, the cool thing, and this probably for a lot of people who love hazies nowadays, this has that, you know, that kind of look that everybody wants nowadays. The Fines of the world, the Troons of the world. That has that hazy, milky kind of yellow color. This is maybe a little bit darker. Has a finger of a soap sudsy, bright white colored head, kind of dissipating a little bit, but kind of staying there. But this is just murky and turbid. You can't see through it. Just kind of looks like, you know, like OJ to some degree. But yeah, it looks beautiful. I mean, if this is in the Fines glass, you would think this is a Fines beer, honestly, just on the looks alone. Let's get a nose. Wow. That is so mellow, but yet so bombastic at the same time. Like, that's crazy. It's like I'm getting a ton of like just ripened red berries, probably from the Mosaic. Strawberry, raspberry. But then I'm getting this nice lemon lime kind of quality, probably from the Motueka. There's also this confectionery sweetness. It's 10.3%, a lot of, obviously, malt being used, but it could be coming from the yeast too, because I'm getting that confectionery vanilla thing I get. And a lot of times, and now I'm starting to recognize it, when I get that, a lot of folks will say bubblegum, or they'll say cotton candy or something in that realm, and it's usually from the yeast. For some reason, my palate or my nose, the aromatics scream more of like a vanilla confectionery sweetness. Has a little bit of like a green astringency, a hot burn. We'll see how that is on the palate, but it's not like too much. But it also just has a greenness to it in general that's kind of like tomato stalk-esque, maybe grassy, definitely outdoorsy in the garden. Overripened pineapple. Yeah, melon, like a honeydew melon that's nice and ripened. Oh, listen, it smells fucking awesome. What else am I gonna say here? Like, it smells awesome. It's fruity. It doesn't seem like over the top in terms of the sweetness. The fruits that are there, very complex. That has that grassy tomato stalk thing, maybe a slight herbaceousness. But it just smells fucking dynamite. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Sierra Hotel. Fucking awesome. And that finish, shout out to another good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Dan, over at FX Beer Reviews. He would have probably just lost his shit on this beer. The finish to me has this beautiful lemon lime Sprite 7-Up thing without being sickly sweet. It just kind of has that character on the back of the palate. So very, you know, a little bit of, obviously much sweeter than lemon lime in general, but it has like concentrated lemon lime sweetness on the back of the palate. Really awesome. But I think this might be a little bit thin at 10.3. This is like higher side of medium, lower side of full. But I've said it probably about 50 times in reviews over the years. When it comes to triple IPAs, especially hazy triple IPAs, If the body's a bit thin, it actually works for me in terms of how I'm going to enjoy the beer. Sometimes they're a little bit too thick and a little bit too tiresome to continue to drink and be like, it's almost thick and sludgy, like a smoothie or a slushy sour, like a big pastry stout, or like a 15% imperial stout or something. I don't want that with my hop forward beers. So the fact that this is higher side of medium, lower side of full, I'm cool with that. The mouthfeel, while it has a nice, smooth, kind of creamy essence to it, a little bit more carbonated than I anticipated. It has like a mild to moderate carbonation, but more approaching moderate. It actually works though. Again, it makes this 10.3% double dry hopped hazy triple IPA actually refreshing to some degree. I will say this, a couple sips, a little warming in the chest, but 10.3%, it hides it extremely well on the palate. Just exceptionally well on the palate, to the point where I'm kind of scared. This is a dangerous beer. Listen, I've heard a lot of different breweries thrown around as far as triples go and like, being topped here. I've heard Equilibrium, they're the kings of the triple IPA game. Other half, I would even say other half's up there as far as like kings of the triple IPA. Hop Butcher, some of their triple IPAs can be awesome, some of them not so much, but when they hit, they hit. I've had, I think, is this the second or third? Definitely at least the second, that Swim Test being the other one. And I can say early on here, they're in that realm. They're up there on the food chain when it comes to these triple IPAs. Let's go take, this is gonna be a little bit longer review, but it's a fucking awesome beer, so it's gotta be. Up front, a lot of citrus, lemon, lime, orange, tangerine, sweeter citrus fruits, candy, dare I say, but when I say candy, a lot of times, like if I say like candy peach, you'll think instantly like peach gummy rings. It doesn't have the candiness that you would expect from that. It's like you took those fruits and just sprinkled some sugar on them. That's kind of how it is, more so than candy. So sweeter, over-ripened citrus fruits. As it passes through, more of the tropical and stone fruits hit. A little bit of peach, touch of mango. Pineapple definitely hits, like a sweet over-ripened pineapple, honeydew melon. And then I get this big blast of like nondescript red berries. Again, I said more like raspberry and strawberry on the nose, but in the taste it's more nondescript. Definitely Mosaic screaming. This is definitely a fruit bowl of awesomeness, and it runs the gamut of like fruits, again, from your citrusy kind of fruits to your stone fruits to your tropical fruits. That's the first 2/3 of the palate. A little bit of like an underlying too, like biscuity malt character, but it's not too big, but it's noticeable a little bit. The last third of the palate, that vanilla kind of sweetness or vanilla character that I think is coming from the yeast, it hits. And it kind of darts like in and out. I thought that would be more of like omnipresent, but it's not. But this finishes with this green, grassy, like herbaceous kind of feel to it. It has a touch of hop burn. If I would have drank this, say, 2 or 3 weeks old, I probably notice a little bit more on the palate, but it's not astringent. It's just like right on the finish, I can, taste the green quality to this one. But it's mixing in with like a tomato stalk, a grassiness, and a little bit of like this herbaceousness. Very mildly bitter on the palate, but almost full-on dry. It's like mildly to full-on dry. One thing that I just got on that last sip now, I did say the lemon lime kind of hit on the back of the palate, and I got that. What I just got though on that last sip, which was kind of different, didn't expect it. And some people will have experienced this in the past, but I'm getting that, like kind of, you just got done drinking, taking a sip of orange juice after brushing your teeth. So that minty like orange thing just hit me on the back of the palate. Before that, it was just more of like a lemon lime Sprite 7-Up, starry, the fuck is starry, kind of feel on the back of the palate. Yeah, it's a fucking another delicious double dry hop hazy triple IPA from Green Cheek. Listen, they know what they're doing with these triple IPAs. I can't wait to try that California double IPA. Or sorry, it's a double dry hop California IPA. It doesn't exist, but whatever. That seems to be more of like a clear beer, and they're using cryo hops. I want to see what they do with the Belgian Fit beer. I want to see what they do with the Helles Lager, because I already know they can fucking nail these. This is just fucking dynamite. Like, it's scary at 10.3% how easy this drinks on the palate. Like, I'm probably going to drink this in like 10, 15 minutes off camera, and I'll be feeling it. I'm already feeling it right now. Anyway, there's not much to say, not much more to say about this one. It's a fucking another delicious triple hazy IPA in the double dry hopped realm, and I'm really happy that Sierra Hotel was nice enough to share this one with me. It's 5 weeks old, and it drinks like it's fucking 5 days old. It just has a freshness to it that I've come to expect now at this point from Green Cheek. So rating on this one is not going to get the 4.9 that double dry hop swim test got. because that was a top tier, like one of the top 3 probably best triple IPAs I've ever had. This isn't that far off though. So I am going to give Pop Quiz Kid, as you can see, they have the name over here, but this is where like the middle, this is like the actual front of the label, but they have this over here. But I'm going to give this beer right here, and we'll just move it around. You know, you can see the whole label. I really like the labels from Green Cheek. It just reminds me of like, I don't know, like I said, like cartoons and whatnot. I just enjoy it. But anyway, we're going to give this beer a high 4.5 out of 5 and go 4.6 out of 5. This is fucking delicious. If you are in California, you can get your hands on some Green Cheek stuff. You owe it to yourself to try them out. If you've never had any of their stuff before and you love triple IPAs or you love hop forward hazies and you love West Coast breweries, go check them out. Price point availability, $24 a 4-pack on their website. I did see the price on this, $6 a can. Yeah, I'd pay that. It's 10.3%. It's fucking delicious. And the availability, I don't know with Green Cheek. If anybody wants to, I've only reviewed 3 Green Cheek beers. I forget their availability. I'm sure they're around California. You can get their stuff, but like outside of California, they might see, you know, some maybe drops in Arizona or up in the Pacific Northwest or maybe in like the Colorado and, you know, so on and so forth. But I've never seen a single beer from them here in the Buffalo, New York area, so your mileage may vary. Anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. I think one of the reasons I really enjoy this one is that 10.3% is hidden so extremely well that it's kind of mind-boggling. And that's when you get a triple IPA that, you know, is over 10% and drinks like it's 7.5, 8%. It's scary. It really is. And like, if I was doing this blind, I might not know this is 10.3. I'd probably guess like 8.5, 9 at the max. So it's definitely scary. So huge thanks to Sierra Hotel for this one. So if you've had this one, post in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. And until the next one, cheers.